Since you're entering in the middle of or either exiting a storm, and these are the only three stages you're going to be at a point in life, you have plenty of time to think about and work on those stages. Not overthink, not stress up on, but you have time to prepare. You have time to work on you. You have time to try to develop a calmness, since you know that inevitably you're going to be at one of these 3 points in your life multiple times. You're going to repeat them. What does this mean? This means that although you can't prevent the storm, going through the storm, or, circumventing it, sometimes you may be able to avoid some of the causes of the storm. Or you may be able to prevent it from being as bad as it would be. Think about it. It's the same thing with the captain on the ship. Sometimes they may be able to navigate around a storm, or even an airplane pilot. They may be able to navigate around a storm. It just depends on how big it is, maybe how much of a forewarning that they have. It's a lot of variables in that scenario. But you're doing this daily, they're sure to encounter a storm where they just can't go around. Right? So they have to try to navigate that as safely as possible for their life and everyone else's life on the boat. And it's the same thing with yourself. This is a time when you have a time of peace to be able to try to develop some sort of calmness, not sticking your head in the sand, come up with a game plan on what would you do with some of these scenarios. And I think, the most important thing that we can do for ourselves is to ensure that we're not directly, or I should say intentionally, heading for storms. This can be through people, places, things, just us, things that we partake in, that we're not making it unnecessarily harder than we should on ourselves. Let's take that first phase. You may be entering a storm. Okay, there's going to be some red flags going up. It may be some cloudy skies. Those waters may look a little shakier than normal, what you're used to seeing and going through. All right, what are we going to do? Are we going to brace for impact? What does that mean? Are we preparing ourselves? Are we being slow to do some moves that we, normally would make when we weren't in a storm? It's just like, okay, let's be a little bit more patient with this. Let's put a little bit more critical thinking into this here. Let me be a little slower to react, because I don't want to turn this boat over. If you're in the middle of a storm, it may be it may be a really erratic period for you. Do you know how to find that calmness with yourself? Do you know how to set your eyes on a destination so you can push on through? Keep in mind now, we know that this is a part of life. This is something that's going to occur. What are we trying to do to fortify and build up a resilience to these things? And then if you're exiting that storm, just like how when you were entering that storm, you're able to tell with those waters and the way things are occurring up around you, like, okay, we're coming up on a calmness here. I think that it's done. First thing I'd be asking myself is, how can I better prepare for that to, if that was to occur again in the future? How can I be better prepared? And it's the same way with life, people, situations, day-to-day things that we encounter. That's all I'm ever talking about on this channel. It's how to be preventative. And like I stated, you can't prevent any and everything, but we can lessen some of the impact and the toll that these things take on us. And first and foremost, just knowing, hey, look, keep a level head. I pulled through other storms before. Hopefully I can go ahead and pull on up through this one. But the one thing I will not do, I won't give up. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about the 3 phases of life. Stay encouraged, avoid being discouraged. I'm Aim. You have a good one.